Hello everyone, welcome back to Science Free. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to solve linear inequalities. Linear inequalities are just like normal linear equations. The only difference is that, instead of an equal sign, we use a greater than sign, a less than sign, a greater than or equal to sign, and also a less than or equal to sign. For this equation, we can use a number line to graph our solution. This sign here is a greater than sign, and the equation is stating that x is greater than 2. These signs represent infinity, which in other words means that the values we can have for x are countless. We need to locate the number 2 on the number line and draw a small open circle, then connect an arrow to it, heading right where the values are increasing from 2. And for the interval notation, we can write 2 then a comma, and after the infinity sign, and the direction in which the arrow is heading, which is a positive infinity sign, and then place them in brackets. This example is similar, the only difference is that this equation contains a less than sign. Since this equation is saying that x is less than 4, we need to draw a small circle at 4 on the number line and an arrow heading left where the values are decreasing from 4 since the sign is a less than sign. Whenever we are writing the interval notation for equations that have a less than sign or a less than or equal to sign, we always write the negative infinity sign first and then the number which is to the right after the sign. Also, we place them between brackets. This one is stating that the values of x are less than or equal to 4. We need to draw a number line and label it making sure 4 is included and as much negative numbers as you like. This time we want to draw a dotted circle at 4 and an arrow heading left. We used a dotted circle to show that 4 is included in the solution, since the sign means that x is less than 4 but also equals 4. For the interval notation, we write negative infinity and a comma, then 4 and also a brackets before and after. But for solutions that are included, we use a square bracket to show that. And in this equation, 4 is included, so we place a square bracket after it. In this equation, x is greater than or equal to -2. On the number line we draw a dotted circle at -2. Because -2 is a solution. We then draw an arrow heading the opposite direction of the sign, where the values are greater than -2. Because we are moving to the right, for the interval notation, we should write the number to the right after the sign first, and then the infinity sign. Since we are heading right, we write a positive infinity sign to show that. Because -2 is a solution, we write a square bracket in front. This equation means that we start at +3 and ends at +6 on a number line. Because 3 is not included, we write an open circle. And because 6 is included, we write a closed circle. The next thing to do now is to draw a line connecting the circles. Since we are finished with the basics, let's now solve some linear inequalities. Remember, linear inequalities are just like solving a normal linear equation, except that we don't use any equal sign. For this one, what do you think we need to do to get x alone on one side? Well, we need to move over the 5 behind 9 and it will become a -5. -9 minus 5 equals -14. Since we now know that x is less than or equal to -14, we can represent that on a number line. For this one, we have 4 times r less than or equals 16. To get r by itself, we divide 4 throughout the equation. 4r divided into 4 cancels to give just r. 16 divides into 4 equals 4. So r is less than or equal to 4. For this equation, we need to place like terms together just like in any normal equation. These values that are before and after the greater than sign, we don't move them. We want to move over 5x behind 6x. And -2 in front of -7. On the right, we ended up with 6x minus 5x, because 5x will become a -5x once we change sides. 7 from 2 gives -5 because we are not subtracting in order. 6x from 5x leaves x. Whenever we have a negative number on the left, we need to switch places with a value on the right and change the sign to its opposite sign. Let's do this similar one. We take the same procedure by not moving the values that are before and after the less than or equal to sign. We move over positive 3x behind 4x and it becomes a -3x. We also move over positive 7 in front of -5 and it becomes a -7. -7 from 5 gives 12. 4x minus 3x leaves 1x. Remember, when we have a negative value on the left, we want to switch place with a value on the right and change the sign to its opposite sign. The first thing we want to do with this equation is to clear the bracket to the right. 3 times x gives 3x. 3 times -4 equals -12. We write back the plus sign and then 7. -12 plus 7 equals -5. We want to move over 3x in front of 5x and it will become a -3x. -3x plus 5x equals 2x. We want to get x alone on one side, so we just need to divide 2x into 2 and also we divide -5 into 2. 2x divides into 2 leaves x. -5 over 2 is the same as -2.5. To plot that on the number line, we locate -2 and then go in the middle of -2 and -3. That will give us in half. In this one, 2 is multiplying by x and we want to get x alone, so we do the opposite, which is to divide. And we want to divide the equation by 2. 4 divides into 2 gives 2. 2x divides into 2, cancel leaving only x. 8 divides into 2 equals 4. This is the final example. Just like in any other normal equation, we want to first to get rid of the added term, so we bring the 7 over in front of 3 that is to the left before the less than or equal to sign. We have 2 also -7 from 8 that is to the right after the less than sign. -7 plus 3 equals -4. 7 from 8 leaves 1. We have 2x in the middle and we want to make 2x a single x term, so we divide the whole equation by 2. -4 divides into 2 equals -2. 2x divides into 2 cancels to give x only. 1 over 2 is a half and we can write that as 0.5. We draw a dotted circle at -2, then find 0 and mark between 0 and 1, which will represent 0.5, and we can just draw a line connecting the circles. Thank you for watching, hope to see you in our next video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section, or you could just send us an email through our email provided in the description.